Good morning, beloveds. I'm not awake. It is cold and it is wet. And it's not cold enough for snow. And I'm kind of disappointed, but I'm also grateful because, yeah, I don't want to drive on ice. Everybody gets excited about snow and everybody forgets about ice. It's like, no, thank you. I've lived far enough north to experience ice, and I'd just rather not do that. So, I mean, it's beautiful, but not when it's covering walkways and roadways and things like that. So, it looks like, outside of the fact that I do have the live stream for Creative Life to do the service, it's going to be like the ultimate curl up with a good book day. That being said, I did a whole lot of work on my YouTube channel last night, and I'll probably do it again tonight. Or today. Yeah, I was up too late last night. Got a couple of videos that just didn't want to download, and they were like, oh, we'll just take 5 hours to do this. So it's like I had them downloading in the background and I was doing other things. The good thing is with electronics nowadays is if I've got that one video that's taking forever to download, yeah, I can download other videos and upload other videos while I'm working on it. So it just does it in the background. It's pretty amazing when you realize that my mom built her first computer. She ordered a kit and built her first computer in our basement. And now, the laptop that I'm using weighs nothing compared to the computer that she built. The graphics, there were no graphics. I mean, it typed in green on a black screen, and now, we have Technicolor. And that's just probably in, a little over 40 years. I'm trying to think how old I was. Because I was 8 when we moved to that house that she built the computer in. So it was probably 10 or 11. She built that computer, and pretty amazing. I think when we lived in Utah, I do remember having a color TV, but we had a black and white TV for years in Georgia. We didn't get cable until I was 18. And you think about it now, I mean, cable's almost wireless. It's pretty amazing what we can do. And I will say that that's definitely been one of the silver linings from 2020 is if you go back and look at history, in the various plagues that happened, one of the reasons why they spread so fast is because everybody went to church to receive comfort, and they huddled in the churches and they spread the plague. And come 2020, when the plague, we'll call it the plague, comes back, and a lot of churches went, okay, we need to figure out how to comfort our people, but keep them from spreading the plague to each other. And so we were able to pivot to Zoom and to Facebook Live and to YouTube Live, and to do that so that we could still have some semblance of comfort and some semblance of our services, but keep everybody safe. And that's been the ongoing message. It's like, yes, we want to come to you. Yes, we want to share with you. Yes, we want to comfort you, but we want to do it in a safe way. So, it is January 10th, 2021. I accept the divine gift. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of God. Romans 8:16. Affirmative prayer means that we clear the mind of all doubt and fear and turn in faith to the great giver of life. It means that we become aware of the presence of God within and around us, here and now. It means that we affirm this presence and accept it quietly, calmly, peacefully, in all of its fullness. I now let go of every anxious thought. I now surrender any doubt or fear into the great heart of love. I look out upon the world and say that it is my world because it is God's world. I think of all of the people as my friends because they live and move and have their being in the Father of us all. I now receive confidence and inspiration from the source of all life. I believe that love is guiding me. I believe there is a divine power that goes before me and makes perfect my way in joy and happiness. I believe this power is flowing through me to the joy and happiness of those around me. I have a faith, a conviction, and an assurance that cannot be moved. For I am established in a love that envelops everything. I contact and every person I meet. I have a friend who knows all my needs. I accept the life that he has implanted in me, and this life reaches out to everything around me, in joy and gladness, and with the blessed assurance that all is well. And believing that God is love, I affirm that there is nothing in me that could hurt or harm or hinder those around me from entering into the fullness of their own joy, into the completeness of their own self-expression, into the perfection of their own being. Okay. So after hearing that, what would you say the divine gift is? Because the title is I Accept the Divine Gift. Although we could take a hint from the Bible quote. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of God. The divine gift is that we are the children of God. And all of that that comes with that. What would you say comes with being children of God? That we're all brothers and sisters. That we all have access to that same power, that we all have access to the same power. We're all loved. That we all came from the same source. We're all going to the same source. Okay. Affirmative prayer means that we clear the mind of all doubt and fear and turn in faith to the great giver of life. So when we sit down to do an affirmative prayer, the first task is, I know we say the first step in treatment, but our first task is to set all doubt and fear aside. We clear the mind of doubt and fear. And then we turn in faith to the great giver of life. It means that we become aware of the presence of God within and around us here and now, which is the first step of treatment. So we sit down and we set aside fear and doubt, and then we say, there is one God, there is one power, there is one Spirit. There is nothing but Spirit. There is nothing but love. It means that we affirm this presence and accept it quietly, calmly, and peacefully in all of its fullness. It's interesting to watch various practitioners do the steps of treatment because some use a lot of words and they use beautiful words and they paint beautiful pictures. And some use few words and simply state as fact. And both ways are good. Both ways are perfect. Both ways are exactly how that practitioner needs to do it. I mean, honestly, there really isn't a wrong way to recognize the one. There isn't. As long as you're recognizing the one. Although it is interesting that Ernest does use the words quietly, calmly, and peacefully. So there is a way. There is a way. It's like you can use as many or a few words as you want. Just do it quietly, calmly, and peacefully. And yet I know some very bombastic practitioners and ministers. So I now let go of every anxious thought. I now surrender any doubt or fear into the great heart of love. And I like that he says that. So I now let go of every anxious thought. I surrender it to. It's like, so I'm setting it aside. I don't want to pick it back up. I don't want to pick it back up. Well, how can I let go of it without feeling the need to pick it back up? Well, surrender it to God. Surrender your anxious thoughts. Surrender your doubts. Surrender your fear. Surrender it to God. And then you don't have to pick it back up. And if you found that you've picked it back up or you've picked up new ones, surrender those too. I look out upon the world and say that it is my world because it is God's world. I look out upon the world and say that it is my world because it's God's world. We are children of God. The world around us is ours in all that it means. I think that's one of the things in Genesis where the difference between the word using steward and dominion. We are stewards of this world. This world is God's world. We are children of God. This world is our world. We have a responsibility to care for it, just like we care for ourselves. That, right there, may be a key to part of our problem, that we're not caring enough for ourselves. I think of all people as my friends because they live and move and have their being in the Father of us all. We are all brothers and sisters. Therefore, I think of all people as my friends. And I forget, it may have been Mr. Rogers who said, think of strangers as friends you haven't met yet. It could have come from Sesame Street too. Think of strangers as friends you haven't met yet. And it takes a lot of the scariness of meeting two people out. I now receive confidence and inspiration from the source of all life. I believe that love is guiding me. I believe there is a divine power that goes before me and makes perfect my way in joy and happiness. I believe this power is flowing through me to the joy and happiness of those around me. So, I receive confidence and inspiration from the source of all life. I believe that love is guiding me. I mean, right there. I believe that love is guiding me. Think of all of the choices and decisions and things that you make and do in love, and contrast them to the choices and things that you have done in fear or in anger or in hate. I believe that love is guiding me. And anytime I feel like something else is guiding me, I want to surrender that to God. I want to surrender that to Spirit and go back to letting love guide me. And that doesn't mean that I'm going to roll over and let people take advantage of me. That's not what love is. Because there's this, we have a concept of tough love, but if you look at love in the Eastern model, specifically Buddhism has a really interesting idea about love. It's like, the biggest thing is that making sure that it's not the object of your love, but the subject of your love. Because the subject has their own thoughts and feelings and their own agency, whereas an object doesn't have their own agency. And sometimes you have to make the tough decisions through that love. So it's not all goopy and soupy. Love isn't. Love is strong and love is tender. Okay, so I believe that there is a divine power that goes before me and makes perfect my way in joy and happiness. If I follow and believe that love is guiding me, then I can believe that there is a divine power that makes my way, makes perfect. And remember, perfect is not flawless, perfect is whole. It means that I'm going to experience some sadness along the way. They say that the stronger the sadness, the deeper the love. I believe this power is flowing through me to the joy and happiness of those around me. And that is part of the divine gift. Understanding that the power flows through us. We don't keep the power. It flows through us and out to the benefit of everybody around us. And it's when we're trying to hoard it that we don't feel good and the people around us don't feel good. I have a faith, a conviction, and assurance that cannot be moved. For I am established in a love, capital L, that envelops everything I contact and every person I meet. I have a friend, capital F, who knows all my needs. And that friend seeks to meet those needs. But that friend seeks to meet those needs through us. So sometimes we have a need and that friend goes, I know you have a need. I am going to meet that need. But for me to meet that need, I need you to get up and go do. And then I will meet that need. I accept the life that he has implanted in me, and this life reaches out to everything around me. This life reaches out to everything around me. We truly do live in a community. No one person is an island. And to meet our needs, we do need each other. I accept the life he has implanted in me, and this life reaches out to everything around me in joy and gladness, and with the blessed assurance that all is well. Even when I have needs, I know that they will be met. Maybe not immediately. It takes some time, and it may take some work on my part, but I know that my needs will be met. And believing that God is love, I affirm that there is nothing in me that could hurt or harm or hinder those around me from entering into the fullness of their own joy, into the completeness of their own self-expression, into the perfection of their own being. So that last line means that there's nothing in me. If I am acting as a child of God, there's nothing in me that will get in anybody else's way of finding their own path. There's nothing in me that could hurt, harm, or hinder those around me. There's nothing in me that can keep them from entering into the fullness of their own joy. There's nothing in me that hinders them from the completeness of their own self-expression. I don't get to tell other people how to do it. I get to be a guidepost. I get to be a light. I get to be a way shower. I get to say, hi, this is a technique you can use. This is a spirit that loves you. This is love, and I get to love you as you express yourself. And I get to bear witness to the perfection of their own being, your own being. But I have a responsibility to get out of your way. I have a responsibility to get out of your way as you express your divine gift. All right. I think our mission today, I know our mission today is to accept the divine gift, but I also like the idea that our mission today is to surrender any doubt or fear into the great heart of love. When we set them down to enter that affirmative space to do that prayer, don't pick them back up. Surrender them to God and let God have them. Because God doesn't know doubt and God doesn't know fear. And so God will look at them and go, ah, I see. Let's do this. So, and God will transform them. Because every doubt and every fear is just a question that we have. And if we give them to God, God will show us the answer. All right, so today would be a good day for the stillness, a good day to listen to the rain, a good day to stay safe and warm and cozy. And join us at 11 a.m. right here on Facebook Live to see what Reverend Jesse has to say and to see what the musicians have cooked up for us. So please do that. But before that, as I always do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself. Today would be a hot cocoa day. To keep your hands warm, to keep your insides warm, to just taste good. So, whatever it looks like to you, do something loving, kind, compassionate. And it is not the day to open your windows, so open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you, you live in heaven now. This is grace. That is where we live. And it takes opening our minds and our hearts to see it around us. And to remember that we are the beloved children of God, in whom Spirit is well pleased, always and forever. All right, beloveds, we will be back with you at 11 a.m. for the service right here on Facebook Live. Reverend David will be on around 5 p.m. tonight with you, and I'll be back at 9 a.m. All right, beloveds, have a wonderful day.